So far, we have learned how to fill out the application form in detail. Let's move on to frequently asked questions, FAQ. First, let's look at the answer to the questions regarding the new designation procedure. Video interviews were introduced in 2020 to check the business understanding and will of the application institution. It is also to determine whether the institution is a legitimate institution that can provide foreign language education. Preparatory questionnaires are distributed to the institutions scheduled for a video interview. Video interviews are conducted for the representatives and officials of the institution. Interviews are conducted in Korean. If Korean interviews are not possible, the institution must hire a separate interpreter. The details and methods of the on-site inspection will be announced later in consideration of the COVID-19 situation. Next, we have answers to questions regarding the institution information. In the case an associated type, the roles can be divided according to the business agreement between the two agencies. In general, domestic operating institutions are responsible for budgeting and settlement, and local operating institutions are responsible for the operation and education of King Sejong Institute. For examples of MOU, please refer to pages 15 and 16 of the King Sejong Institute's operating guidelines. Independent and associated types are only classified according to the type of operation of King Sejong Institute. There are no additional points depending on the type of application during the designation screening. In addition, a recommendation letter for the institution is not mandatory for submission. This is intended to verify information about the institution. Normally, the recommendation letter is from the local diplomatic office. Next, we have answers to questions related to operating personnel. For operating personnel and teachers, the labor costs can be set by the institution considering the local pay levels. For directors, work allowance can be set according to the national price rating on page 61 of the King Sejong Institute's operating guidelines. It is possible to hold multiple positions as operations personnel and teacher. However, it is recommended to hire dedicated operational personnel should be employed to facilitate the institute smoothly. In addition, if it is difficult to secure a qualified teacher, the Foundation plans to provide maximum support after reviewing the application for a dispatched teacher from the King Sejong Institute Foundation. Finally, let's take a look at the answers to questions related to operation and budgets. If in-person classes cannot be held at King Sejong Institute due to the spread of COVID-19, online classes can be opened and operated through the online King Sejong Institute, an online learning service operated by the King Sejong Institute Foundation. The annual subsidy of King Sejong Institute is about 55 million won on average as of 2020. However, it varies depending on the price level of the country, the number of students, and the size of operation of King Sejong Institute. Rent for basic facility requirements, such as the King Sejong Institute classrooms and administrative offices, cannot be paid from the King Sejong Institute subsidy. However, the development fund of the operating institution can be drawn within 50% of the proceeds of the King Sejong Institute. Hence, it can be executed here. This concludes the guidelines for the new designation of King Sejong Institute in 2021. We sincerely thank all the applicants for taking the time to watch this video.